Why don't we go next to Yash from Sri Lanka? Yash from Sri Lanka, welcome to the program. What's on your mind today? I'm curious.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, it's nice to speak with you again. So I had two things to talk about. One was about Ukraine, and the other is about a reoccurring topic that's getting a lot of traction in your Discord. That is about circumcision. I suppose you think it's a bad thing, right?
I suppose what is bad?
Circumcision.
I am not a doctor. I do not get involved in the circumcision debate. Every time I do, people say anti Semitic things that clearly, because I'm Jewish, I can't be honest about it or whatever. So I don't even delve into that. I basically say, I follow what doctors say. And the last I saw, the American Pediatric Association said benefits generally outweigh risks. I'm not married to this idea. I don't tell anybody else what to do with their kids. And it's just not a debate that's interesting to me.
I'm sure you have your opinions about abortion, right? Despite not being a doctor.
Abortion is a political issue primarily in the United States. The medical part of it is actually irrelevant to most people. And in fact, if you present medical information to right wingers, they don't care essentially. So I think that abortion is a completely different thing in that it has been at the forefront of the political and legal world dating back to 1973 and really before that. Circumcision doesn't have that same status. And so I see it completely differently.
I think they're both medical issues, and you do care about medical issues, you care about abortion, so I don't think
Like
this
I
has any
said, I care
relevance.
about abortion, and like, for example, you could say, well, um, uh, the overuse of antibiotics is also a medical issue, and I would agree with you, but it has not taken on any kind of this is a political show. It's not taken on any kind of political angle. So, like, I don't take a position about the overuse of antibiotics, and
I think
similar.
as an average person, we have sufficient knowledge to care about to have our opinion about circumcision. I
Okay.
think as an average person, yeah, I guess okay. So my second thing that I wanted to talk about was about Ukraine. Are you aware that they have a draft? And this is I'm speaking with you on this because leftists are big on talking about sexism. And Ukraine right now is having a draft that is very sexist, and progressives are silent on this. What do you think about that?
I don't know anything about the Ukrainian draft. Tell me about it.
Well, they have a draft and they're not allowing the men to leave the country. They haven't been allowed to leave the country for 2 years. Only men are being drafted, women are not. And they have a draft. They're forcing men into the military, and that is a very sexist thing. You're a political streamer. I don't know how you don't know about this. That's a bit incompetent on your part, I
I
guess.
mostly do American politics, so I'm not familiar with the details of the Ukrainian military system. I'm glad to research it. Is there a specific? So let's imagine that I familiarize myself with the specifics of the Ukrainian military. What would your question then be to me if I was prepared to answer it?
I mean, I don't get what you just said. Americans, you're an American political commenter. Of course, you have to care about America supporting Ukraine. You're giving aid to Ukraine. Of course, it's an issue that's concerning you, that
I
is
have no.
related to you.
Hold on a second. Yeah. Hold on a second. I pay my taxes in the United States. I have no influence whatsoever more than anybody else in whether we are providing Ukraine with equipment which is purchased from American companies. Why does that mean I have to know the details of how Ukraine builds its military and its draft? I mean, what I'm asking you is tell me what they're doing and ask me the question you want me to weigh in on.
Because America is giving aid to Ukraine, and if Ukraine is not, if the country you're giving aid to is not a moral country, then that's an issue that you should concern yourself as a
The
political
US gives
commenter and as
aid.
a citizen of the
Hold on a
US.
second, Yash. The US gives aid to tons of countries that are not considered modern by our standards. In fact, sometimes that's why we're giving the aid. That seems like a strange litmus test.
And you also earlier said that it's another country and you don't care about it. You talk about other countries
It's
all
not
the
that I
time. I
don't
mean,
care,
what was
Yash. What
this?
I'm asking you is, what is the question you have for me on the basis of Ukraine's military draft? Like what I'm saying to you is, you've raised the issue.
My question
Hold on a
is
second,
that
Yash. Don't interrupt me, please. Let me ask my question, okay?
okay?
You've raised the issue of Ukraine's military draft. I've told you I'm not familiar with the particular details of Ukraine's draft. But what I want to know from you is, let's imagine I were, what do you want me to weigh in on in relation to their draft?
I want you to give your opinion about their sexism in their draft, as you are a progressive and progressives are big on talking about sexism. They have a sexist draft. You have something to talk about. It's obvious.
Okay, well,
What's
let me
my
inform
question?
myself and then I will talk about their sexist draft. I mean, in general, my view on military, police, firefighters, etc., is that it should be based on ability. So, for example, when it comes to firefighting, if what you need to be able to do is drag a 150-pound body 200 feet in 30 seconds, and you need to be able to carry 52 pounds of equipment or whatever, if you're able to do that, then you should qualify. And my views for the military in general are the same. So that's my overarching perspective, Yash. I'll have to further inform myself about Ukraine specifically. I don't think male only drafts are specific to Ukraine. I think there's probably 20 countries that do that. And so this, I think, is a broader question, not just about Ukraine.
Yeah, including America. You have a sexist draft as well.
The US doesn't have a draft, and you called about this last time. And I'm curious,
Yeah.
Yash, since we last spoke, have you been thinking about the draft in the US the whole time?
No, I've been thinking about a lot of different things.
Fair. I think that that's healthy, Yash. I really appreciate the call.
Okay, appreciate talking to you.
All right, there goes Yash. Let's speak. Jesus. I often struggle to find a good pair of socks that fits right and is comfortable. Our sponsor, Strideline, have developed the most comfortable socks on earth. They have it trademarked, and it's true, they really are that comfortable. I love my Strideline socks. Strideline has spent years developing extraordinarily comfortable, functional socks that you just have to try to understand. Every Strideline sock gives you zoned cushioning, direct compression with a contour fit, and hydrophobic moisture wicking to prevent the rubbing and the smells. Strideline is also officially a partner of the NFL, MLB, NCAA, and Major League Soccer. So Strideline is where you can go to keep your feet warm on game day. I picked up these awesome New England Patriots socks, even though the Patriots are okay. Anyway, I also love Strideline because they offer socks made from recycled plastic bottles that come out of the ocean, so you can make your feet and the earth more comfortable. And Strideline supports what we do at the David Pakman Show, another great reason to support them. Enhance your comfort with an exclusive 15% discount using the code DAVID at strideline.com. The link is down below.